Yo, welcome to Red Zone in the Lab. This is a new episode of Why and Why Not, where every potential move of the Washington Commanders goes under the block. Today, we're going to look at Boye and Mafe from the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to look at Brian Thomas Jr. and our very own Daron Payne. Let's get to it. Yo, what up? We back. We got action. We got action. We got action. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. Um, the Commanders re-signing back one of their players. But first, Chuck, how you doing today, buddy?
What's up? What's up, man? You know, another day, another couple dollars, or whatever you make.
You always wonder about that. Why is it always a couple dollars? You know, like why black people? Why, you know what I mean? Like,
That's what it feel like, man. By the time bills run through your check, that's what it feel like.
Once you play the GOVT, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and just imagine if you got a WIFE or SIDETHING, right? Like, the money could just go. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what's up, man? Like USA, man. Did you watch any hockey over the weekend?
And I was in church.
I know when it was happening. I mean, if you go to church, I mean, you know, like, you was in there when it was happening. When you came out, I know you saw it.
I seen the clips and I was confused because the dude with the teeth, I was like, did that happen during the game? And there's no clips of it. And then I was asking around, they're like, nah, his teeth always been like that. I was like, God, they wear it proud, you know.
That's the crazy thing, right? Because like most hockey players like ain't got like they teeth messed up, and they be like doing interviews and stuff. They be having a little, I don't know what they call dentures or implants or whatever it is. But if you catch them like right after the game, during the game when they talking, like they ain't got nothing. Like even Ovechkin and them, like they ain't got nothing, bro. It's a tough sport to play.
Yeah, they can have it. I ain't coordinated on that. I went ice skating probably when I was like 11, and it was pretty decent. But I was like, I can't do this while trying to hit no small little hockey puck at the same time.
Yeah, I can't get jiggy with it. I can't get jiggy with it at all. But yeah, man, we have. So if I can pull it up, we got some breaking news from earlier. The Commanders, right? They re-signed Andrew Wiley. How about that? I'm trying to pull this joint up.
A lot of people probably don't like that.
I wonder if I get a strike on my own video. I get a strike on my old video. That'd be insane. But yeah, man. So the Commanders re-sign or sign, however you want to look at Andrew Wiley, 2-year, $7.5 million contract with a $10.5 million upside to that with some incentives. Playing time is probably a big one in there if he gets up to that. I like it, Chuck. Right? Like I think one of the things that I wanted is continuity across what after the season was our strongest unit. Right? They battled some injuries along the way. Right? Connolly played every snap. Biotis missed some plays, maybe a game, if I'm not mistaken. Cosme, he came in the season hurt. He started on a pup, and I think he ended the season on pup um, or inactive, right? Let me see who else. Brandon Coleman had his little thing he was dealing with when he got benched because they kind of say he had this injury that he wasn't really uh, telling the medical department about, which we all thought it was for performance, but later on in the season they talked about how he was playing hurt and wasn't getting the proper treatment for it, like trying to hide and play through it. So they sat him down 4 games, put him on short term IR. Laramie Tunsil, he was missing. He missed some plays. I don't know if he missed a actual game, but I know he missed some quarters for sure. He was nicked up a few times this year. So when you look and a lot of the reserves, Wiley was there all year. I think Allegretti was there all year. Um, Chris Paul was there all year. Trent Scott. They even brought in what's the guy name? The tackle, the swing tackle. Noah Fant. They
Yeah.
brought him in, and for the most part, that was probably our most consistent, strongest unit, right? And I wanted to keep that unit together in a sense where continuity is going to be very important. We're going into a supposedly a new system. We don't know how new that system is going to be because they promoted within to be the OC. We're hearing a lot about the main change is going to be going under center. And and that's just not something small because timing matters a lot. Pass protections matters a lot. And that's something with the offensive line where it matters the most, right? Timing, pass protection. You have some instances where you have to pass block the quarterback will have his back to the defense, right? Depending on what it is, especially on play action, he's going to have his back to the defense, right? If he's going to waggle right or waggle left, like all of those things matter coming from under center because of the timing part of it, right? Um, so I like this move. I wanted this move. I just don't think he's the swing tackle. I've seen that. That him, I don't think. I think he's just a right tackle, right guard, right. I think he's the right side of the offensive line, the backup for the right side of the offensive line. The left side, they always brought in Coleman to replace Laramie Tunsil. We don't know what it's going to look like with Chris Paul because we haven't heard anything. He's on track to be a free agent in a couple weeks. So what are they going to do with him? I think that matters, right? Like I want to bring him back. From what I was looking at, it ain't gonna cost that much, right? 2 years, 10 million. I mean, it might be something similar to what Wiley get, might be a little more guaranteed as far as his might be closer to 10 million guaranteed than the 7.5 that Wiley got. But I think he might get a 2-year deal. I think he's be 24, 25. And we talked about him last week, right? So I absolutely want to bring him back. And I don't want to trade Coleman. If you get a third for him, yeah, sure. But I just don't think you're going to get anything significant for him, especially in the off season. So if you look to move him when the season is like November, somewhere, right before the trade deadline, if a team is looking for guard help that's trying to make a run, then you could get a third out of them, maybe even a fourth if Chris Paul is back and the line is looking good. So this move with Wiley, the first year, I mean, everybody was bad, right? I mean, he was bad at right tackle. But playing right guard, he did really well. Right? He did really well before Cosme came in. It wasn't like he was, a top 5 guard. And like that's the thing with backup players. When we're talking depth, you cannot look at a depth players as a starter. It's a reason why they're just a depth player. Depth player, right? So just think about Andrew Wiley as a starting right tackle, right? Let's just say it's probably a 62 in Madden, right? But as a backup right guard or backup tackle, right, he's probably like a 76, right? Because you're not looking for him to give you 10 games, 12 games. You're only looking for him, hopefully, to only give you 3 or 4 games a year where he has to start and a couple more games we have to kind of, step in. That's what you're looking for from him. Give you that versatility as a depth piece. So I ain't gonna say like I'm excited, right? But this is something that I absolutely want to happen. This move is what I wanted. Resign Chris Paul, keep Brandon Coleman, and draft. Oh, of course, extend Laramie Tunsil, right? And draft a developmental center on day 3 to be able to be ready to take this thing over in the next couple of years to grow with Jaden. But all in all, what do you think about this Andrew Wiley move?
I think it just goes with what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Like you said, when we started out with Chris Paul, we said we wanted continuity. We wanted to keep everything going with the offense because they were playing pretty good last year. A lot of people don't like Wiley in the fan base, and that's okay. But I think he feels a good boy. He knows the system. Um, he does have his moments where it's like, what are you doing? But he also has his moments where no one really gives him his props, but he plays pretty good. And last year he played pretty good. So it's a well-deserved, you know, extension for him to keep him with the team. But overall, I think we're just knocking out the O-line first. We may even hear something about Tunsil within the next, 2 weeks or so, and that'd be amazing. Then we can move on to bigger things we need to tackle. But for sure, I think it's a good thing that we're keeping Wiley with the team. I know a lot of people in the fan base don't like him or whatever, but you keep what's going for you. You keep what works.
For sure. What's up, Outlaw? Let's see what else we got here. Cliff Kingsbury, and I know this is probably it that I'll talk about Cliff. Probably right. I just want to, you know, it's done, right? Um, let me get to it because actually, this applies to 2 former coaches of ours. So the Rams put out their list, right? That they um, finalized their coaching staff. Look who's number 2. Cliff Kingsbury, assistant head coach. The help gets a title. Shout out to Cliff, man. Shout out to Cliff because obviously he went there as an understudy. And I don't know, they like the same age, I guess. Like I'm not even sure how old. I know both of these dudes is young, and look, I know Cliff loved the West Coast. I know he loved the sun and all that good stuff. Um, but like he's assistant head coach. What that's going to look like, we don't know. I don't know. Like they hired him last week. That he's just going to be part of the offense and or no, not even part of the offense. They just what they hired him. They just hired him. He's going to be part of the staff. Like that's what the that's what the report was, right? So and then they wait till now or now. I mean they probably already knew, but usually something like that when it first happens, they usually get the information from the agents, and the agents like, yeah, they just hired him to be part of the staff, right? Originally, right? And then they probably talked into it to be assistant head coach. But yeah, I think this is probably it. But I don't know what happened with Cliff, bro. Like, what do you think happened with Cliff? I mean, last year he was boy one of the hottest names on the market to being the help with a bona fide title.
Well, winning helps, and when you're not winning, people are gonna look at you as what you may not really be. I still think Cliff Kingsbury is a very good offensive coordinator. I'm not sure about him filling back into the head coaching role, but I think he did a good job um, as the offensive coordinator. I think things got a little bit too much for him at some points. It just seemed like each week he was just trying something new. He could never really get something to stick. He never really went back to that 2024 patented offense that worked. He just kept trying to, and he had a lot to go through. Like we didn't have our full wide receiver core. We had a running back room that you really didn't know who was going to show up week in and week out. The O line was solid, but they really weren't playing at an elite level. They were playing at a very good level, but it wasn't elite, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the quarterback play. Mariota is what he is. He's a good quarterback. We'll leave it at that. But he's not one you like sticking your neck out for per se. So I think he just went through a lot, and it was just bad luck. If we want to say that, just bad luck for him, man. I just don't understand this Rams. Like, how much more help do y'all need on offense for the Rams? Like, you
Bro, I
got
think he
Puka,
has the I think he has the most head coaches in the league, bro.
like I don't know how much help them with. Like, they were my picks for the Super Bowl this year. I'm 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 surprised they didn't get it, but the Seahawks were who they were this year. But I, how much more help do y'all need, man?
um, DawgTired is in the building. What's good, dog? Uh, John says Cliff was just stubborn. Put a scheme above adapting to the available personnel. If you're missing key players, you need to adjust to your system to the situation. I absolutely agree. It was like this, like he went to like Rwanda or wherever he went after the Cardinals to go find himself, and he was still lost. So now he's going to McVeigh Island to see if he can find himself once again. So
Yeah.
we'll see, right?
He's
We'll see.
actually older than Sean McVay. He's 46. Sean McVay's 40.
Look at that. So I like, but get 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 the knowledge wherever you can. So we'll see what happens with Cliff the next cycle next year to see if he gets. But he didn't. I mean, no OC, no head coach, no none of that, right? Like it was very. That's why I think that he would have been here. We were success. Like I don't think he was going anywhere,
Nah.
right? But they was like, look, man.
Somebody got to pay.
Yeah, no, I mean, not even that. Like, look, man. Yeah, oh, Thailand. That's where it was. I was like, look, man. Like, we want you to Jay to go under center more. Nah, I can't do that. All right, well, whatever. Let's mutually decide to part ways, right? So, and I don't know if this title prevents him from dog tie. See if you can find that out. Does the title prevent him from receiving the last year salary from the Cardinals? Because this year coming up. I think he was at like 7.5 million that
Mhm.
they owed him, and I don't know if this title um if that if the Cardinals are off the hook with this title. I'm not sure. But also, what's interesting is Brian Johnson, right? Because remember when when they hired David Blau, and we found out that Brian Johnson had also interviewed for the OC job. Him and Dow, I forgot what the tight ends coach. Both of them interviewed for the OC job. So I was like, you know what, with Brian Johnson, who knows what he was promised, right? Because remember, he was assistant head coach. Let's not forget that. So we saw what our assistant head coach did. So you can only imagine what McVay gonna be doing, right? But
Right.
whatever, right? So in my mind, I'm like, oh, so if I'm Brian Johnson, I'm thinking, oh, you gonna go with the young dude? I mean, he ain't coached a day in his life. He only coached 2 years as an assistant. I was an OC. Jalen Hurts had his best passing year with me. I am the assistant head coach. So I don't know what that succession plan looks like. Like, I don't know if Tavita Pritchard threw that joint way off. The losing season threw it way off. Cliff leaving. Like, I don't know what it was. But my whole thought was, what's going to be the vibe with Brian Johnson?
Right.
What's going to be the vibe with Brian Johnson? Right? And it seems like Anthony Lynn is still intact, even though they removed the run game coordinator. He's just a running backs coach. It still seems like he's still intact. Right? And that is on the website. So I wonder, until they put out the official list, like, I mean, anything goes with some of these coaches that was on the staff last year, because you got two brand new coordinators, even though David Blau was still there. So of course, if he has the say so in it, right? Because the report last week was they're waiting on Brian Johnson to let them know what he wants to do. So obviously he chose to go be a senior offense assistant rather than assistant head coach, passing game coordinator. So I mean, I don't know what senior offense assistant mean. I mean, I don't know. And with McVay, like, what is that? What are you gonna be doing? Right? So it absolutely the young guy got the job. So are you surprised that Brian Johnson is gone?
I'm not surprised. I think we're still shaking up this staff a little bit. Like I wasn't surprised that Brian Kerr can get let go. All those guys on that end. Um, I think we're just trying to do a quick little refresh before we bring in this new offense and stuff like that for it to work out for JD5. But I mean, just like you said, I don't know what that position holds for him. Hopefully, it leads to another promotion and not just a. We talked about this last week about how some coaches are just stagnant in their areas. Hopefully he moves up and not just stays. I just don't understand this Rams coaching staff. Like I don't know how much more brain power you need to figure out how to get Stafford to throw the ball to Puka. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll see. What's good, Dexter? How you feeling today, man? Cuddy, what's good? Man, you been on here in a minute, man. What's been going on, Mister Makeaway? I'm quite sure you grinding on the outsides. The assistant head coach hire does not affect this Cardinals paycheck. So shout out to Cliff, double dipping, third year in a row. Shout out to Cliff, man. Yo, what up, T? Shout out to Cliff, man. All right, so don't forget to check out yesterday Commanders draft show. We did running backs and tight ends. We talked running backs and tight ends. Some players other than the Love Man and Jeremiah Love. Don't forget to check that out. Read Radio was this morning. Check that out. David Harrison came on this morning and talked to us about Marshawn Lattimore and what it's going to look like as far as him and the Commanders, what their contract is going to look like, the timing of it, the different options that they have, and also Laramie Tunsil. What kind of timing, even the relationship that he has with the Commanders, and what all that might look like as far as an extension for him. And also tonight, look out for Hell at Midnight. At midnight, I forgot the name of it real that fast. All right, let's get into. Let's see what we got. Let's get some of these players up here, man. Who we gonna do first? Let's do Boye Mafe. I believe that's how you say his name. If it's not, I am really, really sorry. Boye Mafe. He is Super Bowl winning edge defender with the Seattle Seahawks, right? Um we need edge help, right? We need edge help. And we need it all. We need a run stopping edge. We need a pass pressure edge. We need whatever we need a three tech edge, right? We need all of those. And outside of the draft class, right? We know about those guys, the Baileys, the possible Baines, the Arville Reese, Mezzador, like a lot of those guys. And shout out to and the Commanders draft show this Sunday. We're doing edge rushers, right? That's going to be awesome. I mean, it's like 15 of them, right? So we're gonna be going over edge rushers. But one thing about uh the need for edge help is that I think we need a lot of it, and I think it's just not going to be either free agency or draft. I think it's going to be both. Because for me, no move you can make at edge is going to change my thought process. Like if I have Arville Reese at 7, right? David Bailey is gone. And on my boy, I have Arville Reese. Me picking up Boye Mafe is not going to change that. right? It's not going to change that for me. What about you? Because I know some people differ with that, but we need like I think we need two bona fide starters, or at least a bona fide starter and a rookie that can give you at least 50% snap. Because I like Dorrance Armstrong, but he is coming off of ACL, right? So he might not be ready until the start of the season. If he's like even if he does participate in training camp, he's probably not going to do no preseason games. He's probably not going to do no joint practices or none of that. So we might not see action from him for the first time until September. I need people out there before that. Right. So where are you? Let's just say, do you think if they pick up one of these high priced or these highly coveted edge rushers in free agency, do you think that changes their big board? And I'm talking about Boye, I'm talking about Trey Hendrickson. Who else is out there? What other free agents is out there? Boye, Trey Hendrickson, um, Dante. Well, Dante Fowler.
We were on Fowler.
Like Von Miller. I think one of the Bosa brothers, and a couple other guys are out there.
It depends which one of the Bosa brothers, but I it's like you said, we need as much help as we can get. So I think they double dip if they go this route. They get a free agent guy, and then they get uh, well, we'll see, but I think we're leaning towards more edge in the draft than safety. I think for some reason our safety room keeps winning over the hearts of coaches. So we might find like a random free agent safety also, but our safety room might actually end up being safe. Sad to say, but then we might just cash all in on edge rushers. I I just think we go all in on edge rushers and we keep it that way. Maybe find another D tackle also. We still don't know what's gonna happen with Payne. But yeah, I think our DB room is probably safe-ish. Safety room might be safe-ish. I know people don't want to hear none of this stuff, but in reality, you get pressure on the line. That's what we saw all last year. You get a lot of pressure on the line, DB is going to show up. That's all you need is that big pressure. So, and I've always, that's what I thought the defense was going to be last year. And I felt so bad watching the games. I was like, I thought this what Joe Witt's junior scheme was going to be was, live and die with the DBs, but make sure you got pressure up front. And that just, he tried. Well, no, he didn't try, actually. He just left the D line out there to suffer and crash. But hopefully this year, that's the game plan. Go all out on the D line, and then the DBs can just have fun wherever they end up.
And we definitely going. I know Real posted about preseason. We definitely gonna have conversations about that right later in the off season because my view on preseason because of the injuries from last year has changed a little bit, and not because of they didn't play as much, but because of it looks like from the last 2 years, the preseason games and them playing in the preseason and the joint practices and them starting the year, right? The injuries are now, I'm talking about 24 and 25, they looked exactly how the preseason looks,
Yeah,
right? Like you
slow.
guys need to play a little bit more. I don't know how much that is, but either you want to get some real bump with them joint practices or play these dudes a little bit more. I'm not messing with Trey Hendrickson at all. I'm not messing with him at all. And yeah, man, like remember my biggest fear with Von Miller. Remember, bro, it was him playing outside of the 8 to 12 snaps.
Yeah.
That was my biggest fear, and he ended up. I don't know what his snap count was, but he started. Like I saw him out there on 3rd and 3. I was like, yeah, this was
The thing
this
about Von Miller is
this
like
wasn't it,
it
man.
was just so many times where he was so close, but it just it just didn't like he was so close, but it was like watching Sweat and Chase Young again. Like you so close, but it ain't happening.
Mm-mm. Um, DJ Reader at nose tackle. Like, I mean, I don't know. right? I want a bona fide nose tackle. That FSUD tackle. I like him, and depending on what happened with Payne, he absolutely might be an option at 71 because we need. I mean, Golden played. He played good last year, right?
Yep.
He's up there in age though, but he did play good. But he played that nose. He played that nose tackle. He played that zero tech really well, right? So we need someone. Even like if he said we're going to run multiple defense, that means we're going to see some 50 fronts, right? So we're going to need somebody that's humble enough to play over that center that's just there to create space for everyone else, right? Somebody that's not going to get pushed back. Somebody's going to push that center backwards. That's what we're going to need that, and I'm not going to be surprised if they decide to go that route. Yeah, Bailey's not that good against the run, right? Like I think we mostly know that, but it gives you other traits, right, that you can live with. I don't think he's horrible, right? Arville Reese is absolutely better, but overall, I think he's the better prospect. Should be a priority. Yeah, we should see at least three new guys. I mean, like three top depth chart guys. I'm not talking about three guys in general. I'm talking about like a edge, Dorrance Armstrong, a edge. That's what we need to see as far as these edge rushers. But let me give you some stuff on Boye Mafe, right? Um, provided by DawgTired, Statman, out Statman. He's right there in the comments. It might say Steezy on y'all and 101 209. I don't know what that is. Let me see. What's that? October 12th? Well, you know it ain't 2009. He
This
ain't
is
that.
passwords
Yeah,
to
what
his
is
stuff.
password? Yeah, let me try to. What's that email? Check
Yeah,
that
yeah.
email. 6'4", 261 pounds. Um, and he plays according to the numbers, edge, right? Outside of the tackle, 4-3 base front. That's what he plays. In a 40 front, he plays outside of the tackle. Right? Not saying that he can't play the 3 tech, but the 5 tech is where he usually plays. Right? So I mean, usually those type of players, they can be efficient at the 3 tech, and that's like defensive and like a 3 down lineman. That's right outside the guard in between the tackle in that area. Because then they don't have to worry about containment. They can just get upfield and go make a play. Right? But they also are more privy to double teams. And that right there is where the conversation comes in. Right? Is how are they against the double team? Right? Um 40 pressures, 2 sacks, some QB hits, 36 hurries. And we're going to see the batted balls, I think, is a good stat. And hurries are important. But as an edge rusher, you see 2 sacks, you're like, right? Um, 4 tackles for loss, only 2 missed tackles. Defensive stops. I love that new metric in PFF. The stops is basically not just a tackle for loss, but a play preventing a play from happening. So let's say if it's 3rd and 4 and you tackle them at the at they only get 3 yards, you tackle them at the 3 yard, make them shorter. That's considered a stop. So I kind of like that metric. But let's look at him with Dorrance Armstrong, right? Um, the snap percentage is a little higher for Mafe. Um, tackles a game, both at 1, right? Mafe is a little higher at 1.12. Sacks a game, of course. Armstrong is higher because I think he had 6. I think before he got injured. I think he was definitely trending in double digits in sacks.
Yeah.
The stops a game, Dorrance Armstrong has them. I mean, we're on catch percentage too much. The hurries, Mafe has them at 2 to 1 for Dorrance. So I think that the thing with hurries is I like the hurry stat, which is part of the pressures. and all of his pressures. Like when you see pressures, that's knockdown, hurries, and sacks. Like all of those are what a pressure is. So they're not. I know some people look at it as two different stats. Like he had 8 pressures and like it's all part of pressures, right? That's how it's calculated. So I like the hurries, but I always wonder what did the hurries cause, right? Like you want to be able to move the quarterback off of his launching point, and you want to be in his face, right? You want to be in the quarterback face because you want that quarterback to always be thinking, oh, like he's getting pressure or he's beating his man, right? So if you got the quarterback thinking that, even though you're not getting to him, that's still a positive for the defense and for that edge rusher. But we need more hurries, right? We need more hurries. And this is why, like, just talking about his value, right now, Sport Track has him estimated at 12 million at 3 years, 36 million a year.
Hmm.
3 year, 36, 12 a year. I don't know what the signing bonus is going to look like, right? I think what Armstrong get 10, because I think he got like 3 year, 30 something, right? I think, but that was a couple years ago. So I think that's a good number for him, right? But again, like you still need to add pieces. He is not somebody that's just going to come out here and just make everybody else better. I think he's part of a puzzle. He's not like, let's say, a Trey Hendrickson, right? Because Trey Hendrickson before he got injured was still balling. But those type of edge rushers, like they make everybody around them better. But for Boye Mafe, like I think he's a good edge. He's a great player, but he's not somebody that's gonna like automatically. Let me see. Oh, Dolphins doing stuff. He's not gonna automatically make everyone around them better, right? So Boye Mafe. I mean, you got anything for him, Chuck? Chat what y'all think about Boye Mafe. He's absolutely somebody I wouldn't mind bringing in on day one.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it either. I think he'd be a good fit. He might come in here and do better than than a lot of what we already got. You know.
Oh yeah, like it's not like it's not a lot. It's not a lot that you have to do. I'm trying to see how. Let me see. Is DawgTired? How old is he? Um, he's just. I think he's coming off his rookie contract, so he's not. Let me see. Um, he got to be like 24, 25, maybe. That's a good point, real. Like he's saying he's a guy he don't think he's reached. He's 27, so he'd be 27 going into the year. He in the year at 28. Um, so yeah, so I think he's a super senior. Um, but yeah, you're getting him into what his prime and what his the highest point of his ceiling, and that's what you're going into. And I think this is I think that's a great move to make, right? And like Rail said, you know, is a guy that hasn't reached his peak. You put him in the defense here, you sign him. Hey, look, man, I need you to go be more than what you were in Seattle, right? Because we don't have this, and this, right? We don't have scheme stuff yet. Like we're trying to find our identity. Can you come and lead?
Yeah,
Right.
we
What's
need
up,
you.
Momo? Appreciate you for joining the channel, man. Please subscribe if you haven't, and everyone else that's listening, we appreciate you for chopping up. Give us some comments, whatever you got to think about anything that we're talking about. We appreciate you, man. And welcome to the channel. Bailey and Falk have the same number of combined tackles with 31, and that's why when we think about these players, right? And stats and tape, because a lot of times it depends what you watch. That's why it's really always good to watch the entire game of a player, right? Because a lot of times when we just go back and we watch cut ups or YouTube clips, we only see what the person wanted us to see. Right?
Right.
We only see the clips of what they so whatever it, so let's just say they are want to provide us on why David Bailey is not a good run stopper. They're going to show all plays where he wasn't a good run stopper. If they want to show where somebody like Falk is not a good pass rusher, they're going to show us all plays where he wasn't great at pass rushing. So even when, because we don't really like, I mean, I don't, right? It's very hard to get access to 22 for college. Very, very difficult, right? You got to like know somebody to know somebody, right? Even when they share it with you, they're not supposed to share it with you, right? So you got to be careful with it, right? But I think when you're looking at highlights, you need to look at lowlights. When you're looking at someone that where a player is their guy, you need to look at that same player with someone where he's not that guy, right? And put everything together, watch it, and then say, okay, this is what I think about this player. And if it's still inconclusive, right, go look at the numbers and go look at, like, when you're looking at the numbers, okay, he had 2 sacks this game, no sacks this game. Like, he got 3 pressures this game, 6 pressures this game. Go watch those games, because most of the time you can find those on YouTube, like week 3 LSU versus Vanderbilt. I don't even know if that's right. I don't know why Vanderbilt on my mind. Probably because DawgTired mentioned them earlier on Riddle Radio. And go watch that game. Go watch the YouTube of that game and just kind of see, okay, this is this and that. But that takes time. That takes time, Chuck. And a lot of us don't have that time. That's why we kind of depend on the people that do. And then when we depend on them, they can steer us in a way where they want us to view the player how they view the player, because we don't have the time. And it's fair. It's understandable, right? Like, those guys, they get paid to do this. Like, it's their job to watch. It's their job to watch tape. Like, that's their job. But, a lot of us that have fan content and just, I mean, like I say, it's different levels of fandom. We talked about that towards the end of the year, different levels of fandom. And, some fans want to watch on Sundays. And then you have some fans that want to watch the game 2 or 3 times and want to learn X's and O's and all of that stuff. But wherever you are, it's cool, right? But you just, when you say somebody can't do something, you're opening it up for someone to question that. And that someone might have watched way more than what you have watched. Where you might just be getting that information from someone that's biased towards what they want you to kind of believe. But that's the business of this thing that we call content, Chuck.
Persuasion is key.
Yeah, Mo, like we have days where we had, like, actually Riddle Radio, that's only on X. I don't know if you're on X, but if you are on X, you can search Deuce Red Zone and Riddle Radio. We're on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for the first week of free agency. We're gonna go probably every day, and when the season come back around, the end of training camp, we're going to go back to every day. And we have call in all the time. You can come up, chop it up. And even on here, like we have, some, after the first week of free agency, we have, a fan show, and different fans come up, up here, and we chop it up. And after the draft, we chop it up. So we do that. We do that quite often. What's up, Gus? How you feeling, man? That's a great question, man. And that matters too, Gus. Like that matters too. But again, to someone that's not trained when I say trained, not like if you're not trained, I mean like you don't know ball or whatever. But if those things you're not accustomed to, like the different conferences mean something, right? Like the numbers you put up in the SEC is going to be more. It's going to be more important. Like, getting 100 yards in the SEC is far greater than getting like 500 yards in the MEAC. You see what I'm saying? Like this stuff, it matters. Like competition matters, and sometimes we just don't know. And that's a good point. He might end up being but Dorance Armstrong was balling out. You got two of him on the team, right? And they can do slightly different things, but they can both produce, right? That gives you two of them on both sides of the ball. And hopefully that will open up more in the interior. So even if he's like a tier of the Dorance Armstrong, that's still a good player. And that's what we want. We want good players. Um, Yep, same thing. Look, Gus and DawgTired's on the same page. Yeah, that size thing is a whole different now. Like oh my gosh, like I guess size matters, Chuck. Um, yeah. So let's see, 3 years, 36. I think we're good. Yeah, I think I'm good with Mafe. I think that's somebody we absolutely want to um want to bring in. All right, let's go to everybody's favorite player, Daron Payne. Everybody's favorite player, Daron Payne, 6'3", 320. And I think these were, I don't know, I don't even know if they do measurables every year, right? Like I think they got to pass a physical by August 1st. I do know that. So when they come in the OTAs, I'm thinking, or training camp, they got to pass a physical. And I don't know if these numbers are updated at that point, or is these just like college, combine college numbers or whatever. But I mean, he looks good though. Like I don't know if y'all follow him on Instagram. Like he's been in the snow for like a month. He's at some ski resort or some country. He's been snowboarding. Like hopefully, I mean,
Wow.
is anybody like how does that help your pass rush?
Snowboarding?
Yeah.
Oh, it don't at all. I've been snowboarding once, and it's all about balance, sure, but move well. Okay, hold on. Let's retract that. Balance, right? You gotta move your
Yeah.
hips a little bit. You gotta
Hips.
lean on your back, on the balls of your feet, and then on your
Yeah.
toes. So
Yeah,
on
I
your
think I
heels.
think I would do that on Hell at Midnight. I think I would do that.
Snowboarding.
Yeah, like balance. Look, dog. Look. Move the hips and the knees.
Yeah, it's a lot. I forgot.
Yeah.
I was too busy rolling down the hill, so I wasn't doing the fundamentals.
Balance and bring strong legs. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like he ain't showing videos of him actually doing it. I mean, one time he was sitting down, so I don't know. Like, I mean, whatever, right? But he's been out there like a month,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like
either that or
with
he was
whatever he is.
at that black ski weekend. So we don't know.
So I think with I think the biggest issue, like right now, Spot Track has his market value at $16 million.
Mm.
I think the well, his base salary is 16 million, but I don't know what his market value is right now. But ultimately, with the signing bonus, the roster bonus, the workout bonus, different incentives and all that, his cap hit is going to be $28 million, right? That's that's where I think the issue is with Daron Payne and the fan base.
Yeah.
I think it all boils down to the $28 million cap hit. Because if he's making $10 million, I don't think it's an issue. Right? Even like they be like, all right, yeah, whatever. You want to trade him, cool. But as much as we talk about him, it's because of the $28 million cap hit. What you think? Like, I think that's the I think that's the core of the conversation surrounding Daron Payne and Commanders Twitter.
I think it's, are we getting what we paid for and what we might end up paying for in the future? Are we getting the results from that, right? And I think, he had that one game where he got 3 stops in a row on his own.
Oh
He
yeah,
had that
2
one
years
season
ago.
where he earned his paycheck. But in how many games we can honestly say, oh, Daron Payne was the the disruptor of the game. This was Daron Payne's game. How many times we can honestly say or count on our hands that Daron Payne has showed up for us? Not to say he's a bad player, but it's too many times often that he just seems like he's just there. Now, granted, he did have a couple seasons where he was probably fighting through the double and the triple teams and all that stuff, but look at all these other players that are getting doubled and triple teamed, and they're still getting results from it. And like I would say, what really hurt me the 2024 season, I feel like the game we needed him the most, that Eagles game, the championship, he got hurt like right before, and we didn't get to see like how he would. I think he probably would have been a big help in that game, but he just got hurt and he wasn't there. So it's always the question of, when will Daron Payne show up and in what games? Like, I don't care if you show up against the sorry folk. Like, cool, that's your job. I need you to show up against like all these NFC East teams. And I actually like Daron Payne. I like him as a player. His stats just aren't always where I think they need to be for him to be Mr. Moneyman.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, right? And like right there, Mr. Moneyman. Like Mr. Moneyman, right? And this is only an issue because we hardly ever see an extension get to that last year of the deal without like some sort of trade. Even when a player is traded, i.e. Debo, there's always like some type of reworked contract.
Right.
To prevent them from getting to that last year of that deal. But he's here because if you look at any deal that you look at, we always say those last couple of years, they'll never see that money. They'll never see that money. But for our situation in Daron, like it's a different situation where like he's up against it, right? And he hasn't done enough to get an extension, right? And they might not look at him past this year. This is why I think even with Daron Payne, pick 71 gets very interesting. It gets very interesting, right? And the money that he's slated to make this year, you all are right. Like, folk are right. The production doesn't match it, right? But you've already bought the house. There's nothing you can do about it. Right? You've already signed it. You already, the mortgage, like you signed it already and said, hey, look, I am going to pay this. And now, like, it's either, oh man, are you going to sell the house? If you sell the house, everybody know you want to get rid of it. So like, you're not going to get market value for it because everybody knows you want to sell it. But now, do you want to refinance and add another 15 years? You don't want to do that because you really don't like how the bathrooms. So now you just sit back because you can't just abandon it and leave it because you're still going to owe on it. You're still going to owe money on it if you just release it or abandon it. So what you got to do, you just sit back. You just sit in there for the next couple years until you finish paying it off. Right? It's just as simple as that. And that's where we are with Daron. Look, Daron got him jumping. I think this was to you, what you were saying. Herman said, facts. DT DawgTired says, I'm not saying get rid of him, but it's time for some accountability. And what does that look like? Like, Chuck, what does accountability look like to Daron Payne? I mean, because like, what can they do? Hey, look, man, because remember, dog, who was the defensive player that they raved about for months prior to the offseason? Daron Payne. Every time they talked about what player, Dan Quinn was always Daron Payne. Every Monday and every Thursday, here come Witty with Daron Payne. So I mean, I don't know what accountability is going to look like. Because the only way you can say, "Oh yeah," he is if he give us back $10 million. But that ain't happening.
I think what could be my worst case scenario for Daron Payne if he turns out to be the guy that when your team is losing, he just doesn't play hard. And we had this discussion way back when Jonathan Allen was here, and that whole D-line situation was like, are these guys giving up on the team? Are they just not playing hard? And things of that nature. So that's my worst case scenario with Daron Payne. Like if last year was just, oh, maybe he saw the future and we weren't going to get nowhere past 5 wins. So he was like, you know what? Next year, I'm gonna do what I did a couple years ago and go get my bag. So
The
that's
only
my
thing, the only when I think about that, right? The only thing I push back on is when he, I guess, I don't know, did he break his finger or dislocate it or whatever in the cold? He could have just stayed out, but he came back in. Right? It's like those moments right there. It gets me to like, okay, you might not be, but I don't think he's like a quitter, right? But I do think he takes plays off more than
yeah,
what he should,
yep,
right? And with this, when you're always out there, it it seems like you're taking off even more because you're out there more,
right.
right? And you're taking on double teams, you're taking on triple teams, and they just running and running and running, and you can't put up points. So, like, the defense wants the offense to pass the football, right? These D linemen want to get after the passer. So, do I think he's soft, or do I know he ain't soft, right? I mean, he's stealing people with helmets on, right? So, I don't think he's that. I don't think he's a quitter. I think he takes plays off. A lot of players do, but he's not producing at $28 million.
Right.
And this is where he is. Hasn't done enough for an extension and hasn't played bad enough to let him walk.
Yep.
What's up, John? You feeling, man? Daron Payne is the only defensive lineman who bats the ball down and tips it as well as getting sacks. He is. He had 4 of them last year. I think he had 2 in one game though.
Didn't Kinlaw bat the ball down like 2 times?
Like he have, yeah. The Kinlaw have, I don't know. We gotta see. I don't know how many Kinlaw had. What's up, Indian Lake, Ohio in the building? Can we get a top 100 pick for him? Oh man, no, not right now. Back in October, November, you may have been able to. You may have been able to get a top 100 pick. But I definitely think right now, like day 3 pick at best. Day 3. We ain't talking about him. I let him walk even if he does ball out next year. Now that's the thing, right? Like I could see this being the last year with Daron Payne for sure. But who knows with Adam Peters? We just gotta see how he moves. But I wouldn't be surprised even if he balls out. To your point, but if he balls out and we win and get in the playoffs, and who knows how far we can go, like everybody gonna forget about this past year, right? Like everybody gonna forget about it, and they're gonna pay him, just like what happened with his rookie contract, right?
You know what, Deuce? Real quick,
Mm-hmm.
Adam Peters has turned my fan base into a bunch of accountants. Like, I don't know where this came from the last couple of years, but all of a sudden, all on my timeline, all on these shows, everybody knows about math. Everybody knows about money. All of a sudden, they know about compensation for picks and all about that. A couple of years ago, y'all ain't know nothing. So I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but it's getting a little bit old to be like, oh, we can bring him back for cheap. We can do this for cheap. We can do this for cheap. I'm tired of hearing it, man. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens this offseason, man. Yeah, we got to stop penny pitching and pocket watching people. We got to stop it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like the fan base got life, right? The new ownership in 2024 that put life in the fan base, and everybody was like, "Where can I fit in? Where can I fit in to be a part of this?" You know what? I'm gonna be a capologist. Daron plays with Daron. Daron does necessary. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Like he's played hurt a lot. I mean, a broken finger thing. I think he played for cars.
Play for cards.
Yeah, I do. Right? Like I don't think he really wants like all of this money. I think he just want to have his cars.
I mean, when we get
Like
down
he's
to
really
it,
living a single life, bro.
yeah, what has he had to play for the last couple of years besides 2024?
Yeah.
Not much. So, hey, you got to play for yourself at that point.
Yeah, they was doing Quan, but they was doing Payne too. They did Payne a lot too.
Man,
He had
Quan be selling
shape.
me
He
on
was this.
Madden.
He was that.
Oh,
Yeah, we've been saying Deron for years, right? I think, and I think like not only the 28 million, also like, come on, man, you was with the old regime too, right? Like you was part of that disappointing all first round picks on the D line. Like you was a part of that, right? You, you still got that old stench on you, right? Because like Terry, that stench is off Terry, right? That stench is off Trustway, Jeremy Reeves, but Deron Payne still got that stench, and I think people just tired of seeing his face in Burgundy Gold. I just think that he said, "Deuce, I ain't turning the cap. I just want to look at his stats." But speaking of the cap, um, dead cap prior to June is 11 million. Is the dead cap, and the savings is 17 million. So by just releasing or trading him pre June 1st, we can get $17 million, and the dead cap would be 11 million. And I'm quite sure there are players out there. You might get a couple players that can give you that type of production. I mean, you got one, DawgTired always talks about Newton, right? And is he one of those just give them more opportunity guys, right?
right.
And that dead cap would be spread over. That's the great thing about it. With a June 1st destination, post June, they can spread that dead cap over 2 years, it looks like. And then the cap savings would be 22 million for this year. So it's a lot they can do. But yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's one of those things where you think about, releasing him. Would it create another hole? Right. I think there's good depth on the D line, especially with the D tackles. Right, having continuity there, bringing another guy, especially to play that zero tech. I think they might bring Goldman back, get you three new edge guys. Right. I think it could be a solid front. Keeping him here, right? So I think if they do keep him, I think they calculated his money, and it's not going to prevent them from doing anything. Or we just might see, just to get under the cap, some sort of renegotiation that takes some of his money and they turn some of it into cash, right? Give him a signing bonus so they can lower the cap. That's also an option. But I think if they're looking at winning next year, I think he's on the team one way or another. What's up, Tim? Somebody go separate my man's Quan show. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. They say he did play better with two messed up shows. Yeah, so
Yeah, his
March
arm must
13th.
be longer or something. I don't know.
Yeah, March 13th is the deadline for destinations. All right. Um, uh, one trade, Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. Like not only like when Five was at the not the con when he was at was that Senior Bowl or was that Super Bowl week? Maybe it was Super Bowl week. When he mentioned when he was talking to that reporter about playing with a former LSU guy that's out there. And then they specifically said playing with the former one. Well, they said ASU, so scratch that. They did say ASU. They said ASU. But Brian Thomas, he had a down year last year. I mean, there's a lot of whispering around that he might be available, but they got a new staff down there. I mean, not a new staff in the prior year. They had some injuries, like he was injured on and off. Um, of course, well, I can't think of his name. The cornerback wide receiver. Oh my goodness.
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. He got hurt early in the year, so and they still made a run, right? They still was able to get to the playoffs. So I would like I don't see why they would. Only way I would move him would be for another receiver of his caliber, just to kind of give him like that change of scenery, like for a Waddle, or somebody like that that's already with the team that need a change. And you just kind of do like a straight up trade. But I don't see them moving him. But if they do, absolutely, absolutely. Like I think this kid could still be one of the best. I think he has the potential to get there. And getting him back with Jaden Daniels, oh yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. He wins most of his routes. Downfield threat, over the middle, post, outside. Like he gives you all of that. When they talk about LSU wide receivers in the NFL, he's up there as far as production from LSU. Right? And that's what Jaden was at his best when he got somebody he can consistently get the ball to down the field. Right? Just think about like him and Terry. Once they found that connection, once they got on the same page, you give him somebody 10 years younger than that, somebody he already used to run with.
Right.
Man, make it happen. But I just and we got to think about this too. We can use next year's draft picks too. Like we got all of them. Right. But when we talk about trading, don't just think we have to give up what we don't really have a lot of this year. And we have 6 picks. It's usually 7. Right. But the top 100, we only got 2 picks. We don't have a second and we don't have a 4th. So, and that 4th is the money round, right? And the second, you can get first round talent. We at the top of the draft. So that makes that 3rd round pick better, right? I hope that makes people feel better. Is that is at the top of the 3rd, right? So, I don't know. Like I'm taking Brian Thomas over any wide receiver we could get this year at pick 71, if they decide to do that. A 3rd this year and a 3rd next year, or a 4th next year, or whatever. I'm doing that. But even still, I think making a move for Brian Thomas, because I know I talk about moves that you make prior to the draft. I think that's a move that they can make that will change. Like if I'm going Tate, Lemon, one of those guys at 7, if that's on my mind, right? I don't think. I mean, like if I trade for Thomas, that changes. A lot of moves we make in free agency won't move me off of my big board, but a move like that for him will. Like if we was able to get Brian Thomas, that'll move me off receiver at 7. But someone like Ayuk or Romeo Doubs, that does not move me off a wide receiver at 7. Even if we got both of them. If we got Romeo Doubs and Ayuk, that doesn't move me off 7. If we if we get Pierce and Ayuk, like that still don't really, I would still think about it. Because it's not so much about just this upcoming year, right? Terry's going into the year being 31. Next year is going to be 32. Then it's going to be 33, whatever, right? So, but I need two young guys always ready to run with Jaden because most of these teams have a lot of these teams have two good wide receivers, right? We don't know what Ayuk is going to be, right? Because he hasn't played all year, right? We know Alec Pierce is, we know what Dubs is, right? But I need somebody that I know is going to be here with Jaden for like the next 5 years. I mean, what you think, Chuck? I know you seem like you like nah.
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. It just I wasn't high on him in the middle of the season because he went through what he went through,
Yeah,
and I'm not a big fan of wide receivers not being able to do their job, as in catch the ball and run their routes. I don't know what was going on, why he couldn't catch the ball, whatever he was going through, but he got through it. In my opinion, I don't think the Jags are gonna let him go. I don't even
right.
think that'd be smart, especially with Trevor Lawrence back there, and he's sort of like entering this hot seat phase of they might move on from him also. So I don't think they're gonna move off of him like regardless. Like, why would you do that? And you also got a Travis Hunter who's probably gonna primarily play corner in the first place. So it wouldn't even be smart for the Jaguars after the season you just had. You don't blow up your offense like that.
And they, you don't forget they got who's that? Jacoby Myers.
Right. They are from the
Yeah, they
Ravens. So
traded for him and they extended him, so they paid him too. So
yeah. So you don't even need to blow up that offense because you're building to get right back to where you were last year and hopefully this time win. Which you were close to knowing this, you were close to winning. So I don't know why you would let him go. But you never know. It's the NFL, things always happen. Now on our side, like of course, like everyone loves the whole get Jade back with his wide receivers topic and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind it. We do need youth at the wide receiver position, but keep in mind we do have a Luke McCaffrey for whatever that's worth. We do have a Traylon Burks. We do have a
well, he's a free
Jalen
agent,
Lane.
so we don't know what they're gonna do with him.
Yeah, we do have a Jalen Lane. We'll see what he grows into. We still got Terry. I know he's old, but I feel like the wide receiver at 7 thing, I don't like it because I feel like defense has won so many games as we saw last season that we need to start building our defense. Like Seattle has been building that defense for years and years and years, right? That's not just a new defense. There are a lot of young guys on that defense, but it's not just something they strung together in 1 or 2 years, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to start building our defense right away, especially if we're going to end up letting like a Daron Payne go, or we don't have that many young guys on our defense in the first place, right? We
Mm-hmm.
barely don't even know what our linebacker core is going to look like for this upcoming season. So I'm the defensive guy at 7. Like if we end up getting the Ayuk and or Ayuk and a Pierce, like I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the Ayuk and who's the other guy? Romeo Dobbs. I like his game a lot. I don't know his age, but I'm cool with that also. They're older wide receivers, but I believe they can get the job done. It would just be a question of, for me, the question is, what do you want to start building on first, right? Do you
Mm-hmm.
want to start building around this offense in 5 and getting him younger wide receivers, or do you want to
Mm-hmm.
start building around the defense? Like, in my opinion, we have no superstar on our defense. We have Amos. He seems to be growing into a young star, but we don't have a superstar that we can lean on the defense to be like, we know they're going to go out there and make plays regardless of what game it is. So Brian Thomas Jr., it'd be fun, but I don't see it happening at all.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. No, Pierce. I think the only tag confirmed right now is the Pitts tag so far. I think they have until when is the tag, dog? I think it's sometime next week. I don't know. Um, Payne in the third. Oh, Payne in the third. Yeah, it might work. Jacksonville, Death Shot, Travis Hunter, Parker. Oh yeah, but I like Parker Washington too. right? Jacoby Myers. I don't know, like, man, you could get you an extra pick. I think BT. I think he might be on the move, bro. Like, I ain't gonna cap, man. Like, I don't know. Because them dudes balled out, right? I mean, Travis wasn't even there, but they say I heard a report they're gonna have him more as a corner than a wide receiver
Yep,
when he
yep.
gets back. So,
That's why I would keep.
yeah, so they
Yeah.
might have to, but again, they could make some more moves. They can draft some more wide receivers, right? Um, yeah, there it is. Um, yeah, like I like him, man. Agreed. Ayuk will presumably be a short, and Terry's aging, so two long term solution wire definitely makes sense. What's up, Dustin? How you feeling, buddy? But to be fair, Chuck, building defense doesn't mean first round defense every year in the draft. Yeah, I mean you need them dudes to be good, right? Like we don't have, bro. We don't have. Let me see. What's like? What's that superstar Madden Chuck? Like we ain't got none
Yeah,
of them on defense.
I got nothing.
Oh, we
And
got no
Quan Martin play
superstar.
like he play in real life on Madden, so he got nothing. I be
At
having to
least
sub
on offense, we got like what? Two, I mean
Terry,
three at least, right? Tunsu, Terry, Jaden. Um,
even
I
Bill.
mean,
Bill and Madden, they go. Oh my, Bill
oh
and Madden
yeah,
is
Bill.
crazy. I be
Yeah,
killing
I
dudes
got
with
Bill.
Bill.
Yeah, I gave him extra speed too, because yeah, I be jive cheating. But yeah, man. I definitely would take. I definitely would take him, man. But those are the three, right? Those are the three. We got our trade candidate was Brian Thomas Jr., Boye Mafe, free agent signing, why and why not? Brian Thomas, the trade, why and why not? Daron Payne, release, extend, trade, etc. Why or why not? Don't forget, the beginning of the show, we talked about Andrew Wiley being re-signed or signed, however they look at it. Again, I think that's a good move. You check out the beginning of it of the show. A few stars. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what those few stars look like. But yeah, man, we're gonna get into we just calling the news, right? Yeah, we just calling the news.
Yeah, this dude.
Riddle news of the day.
It is now time for Riddle News of the Day.
All right, riddle news of the day. We're gonna start with this flight news, right? So the Department of Homeland Security is temporarily suspending its TSA PreCheck and global entry programs due to the agency's lapse in funding. The rare move will result in longer lines, likely frustrating many travelers. So that means for people like me that's military and we get the TSA PreCheck, I guess I can't use it for now. So how you feel about that? Do you fly a lot? You fly a
No,
lot.
I don't fly a lot for TSA pre-check. Like I try to get there early, right?
Uh,
But when you do get there early, you get a little late. Like you're jealous, right?
yeah,
The TSA pre-check people, and like some depending on which machines they have. Sometimes you don't have to take your iPad or laptop out, or so you got to take your shoes off. But pre-check ain't never got to do that, right?
yeah.
And it just I think like I don't have the numbers, right? I don't have the numbers of how much like how efficient or how it's more efficient to have TSA pre-check, right? I guess it depends on the time and the airport, etc. So like I could just imagine like Atlanta, LA, New York, especially LaGuardia, like all of those absolutely need TSA pre-check. Even those lines is probably long. Well, for the most part, if you a traveler that gets to the airport 2-3 hours earlier, that's something that you might not need. And if you do get there late, you just jump in the clear jump. But all in all, man, like it's tough, man. Because I know some people don't like being at the airport for whatever reason. Like they
I
like
don't.
just going just enough time for them to get in there, get that TSA pre-check, and get through. But now, like everybody got to get there extremely early. So now I got to get there even earlier. just thinking about it.
I be gambling my time sometimes. I be like, cause I fly out a smaller airport sometimes, so it'd be like I can make it about an hour later, but I can't do that no more. So and I think I got a flight coming up, probably next month. I think I'm going somewhere, but I'll let y'all know how it goes, man. But all right, moving on. We're going to get into this. The Commander fans might like
He said he
this.
still got time for a slice of pizza. Hold on, listen now. Before we go, do you eat airport food?
I eat airport food if it's a necessity. Like if I'm starving, I'll
Yeah.
stop and get some, and it'll probably be like if I'm coming back from somewhere, I'll get
Yeah.
something. But if I'm like, or if I got a layover at an airport, I'll eat. But I'm going to the expensive place. I'm not going to the little kiosk to get me a little lunchable. I'm not doing that. I'm definitely going to get my money's worth because it's expensive either way. So you might as well get your money's worth. But no,
Yeah,
I don't eat too
so
much.
like for me, I probably like my wife likes to go into the little newspaper joint and getting some snacks um for the flight. And if we do have a long layover, we'll go to one of the little restaurant joints and sit in. I mean, it's
Right.
it's more so the wait to pass by time, and you just have to end up eating. Um, uh, so like it's cool either way, right? Like I'm not. Um, hold on, right quick. It's not like I'm going to the airport 2 hours, 3 hours because I got like a favorite restaurant at the airport, right? Like it's not like that at all because I don't even want to be at the airport all that long, right? And the food is crazy, crazy expensive. Yeah, like DawgTired said, like you pay $8 for a bag of sun chips.
Right. You might as well get a whole meal. You got a favorite airport? Chat?
I don't know. Y'all got a favorite airport? Like I just whatever's cheapest for me. Like I mean, I got three of them, right? Like I mean, being where I am, we got three of them, so
Yeah.
you kind of check and see.
I like Charlotte, man. Charlotte airport is nice. Charlotte got a nice airport. DCA is okay, but I like Charlotte.
Um, what else the chat say? Let me see. Um, depends on the country. Look at this guy. Look at depends on
You
the country.
flexing.
Check him
But
out. Check him out. He said I get a slice in the bed. I mean, some people need that too before you get on a plane. I get it. You know what I mean?
some people get
Oh yeah,
absolutely
Dulles food is
smashed.
best. I think I've been there twice.
I don't
Dulles
get
food
how
is
y'all
twice.
get smashed before y'all get on the airplane, man. Like,
So they trying to go sleep.
yeah, but I guess them Biscoff cookies ain't doing it for y'all, man.
And I
That
don't know
Biscoff,
if people like for business. I know Dog mentioned that for you in business. Like, I don't know if people get daily expenditures from their company. Um, like I think that plays a part in it too. But a lot of times I'm trying to keep that money. Like let's put that
yeah,
on the base. You know what
I
I
get
mean?
it.
Like,
I
you
get it.
know what I mean?
They don't make Biscoff cookies into a whole nother thing too. They're making
So high.
cheesecakes and all that.
Sorry, I said he's sleeping. They clearly don't get motion sickness. All right, what's next, Chuck?
All right, let's talk about the Commanders fans are going to love this. So, Sean Taylor's daughter, if you don't know, his daughter Jackie Taylor, she plays for UNC Tar Heels on the volleyball team, right? So she pays homage to her father. She got her own pair of KD 18s. KD, as we know, is a big Commanders fan. The 18s are his basically his 18th edition of his shoe that have been coming out this year between 2025 and 2026. It says expect to see Jackie and others lace up the pair for UNC's women's volleyball team. So it might be not just her shoe; the whole team might be wearing them. And she definitely had a hand in designing these shoes in honor of her father. There is no release plan for the fans. This is definitely a player exclusive sneaker, so PEs for her. So there you see right there what they look like. Got a blue, I guess, for the Tar Heels and some pink accents. We got the 21 on the tongue. got the KD emblem on the other one. So not a bad looking shoe, man. Too bad we can't get them unless one of the players ends up putting them on sale, but I doubt any of them are going to do that. So shout out to Jackie.
Yeah, shout out to Jackie, man. Shout out to KD for having 21 pairs of shoes.
What is 18?
Oh, I mean,
It's 18.
18. I don't know. What did I say? 21. That's crazy.
Sean Taylor got you. So.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, the number. Yeah. He got 18 pairs of shoes, bro. Like, I don't remember like one of them.
That's actually what we're going to talk about next.
All right, we're going to get into it. Yep, we did. Well, we didn't talk too much about Pitts today. But yeah, he did get tagged.
I mean, sorry for y'all broken hearts, man. I don't know. Hope y'all wasn't too invested in Kyle Pitts.
You said the Carolina blue not dark enough.
Yeah, I'm not a big color blue person anyway. So it's a nice looking shoe though. All right, let's get into the next thing. So Boardroom. This is speaking on KD again. This is his brand, his entertainment brand, founded by him and Rich Kleiman. Apparently, they have fired their whole editorial team. Now, I'll give you a little backstory on this, on what some fans are thinking this is a possibility. So, on All-Star Weekend, I guess right before the games were starting, my boy got a RICO put out on him, man. Apparently, there was some group chat that leaked, and there was some user in there that people thought or think is KD. So, apparently, KD was in a group chat, found to be talking about his teammates. We don't know. It's all allegations. We don't know if it's true. But then this comes out that they fired their whole editorial team, and fans were speculating that that was because he had a leak or mole inside of his group. Now, doing more research, it says that the brand is actually just trying to be more modern. So it might not be a need for all those people on the editorial team, especially with things like AI, and he might just want to move with a younger group on his staff. So what do you think about that, dude?
Yeah, they absolutely I don't know how he runs his staff, but I don't know if who runs his account. I don't know. I know he runs his, right. Like,
yeah,
he runs a lot, right. So I mean, what did he get mad at the edit people for? Like, what was they supposed to do when you out that joint? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know what he expected, but it made too much sense that all of that happened at that point, right? Or maybe somebody from his staff leaked the information that it was him. That could be a thing too. Cause maybe they was like, well, how they know this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it had to be one of y'all, and which one of y'all was it? And they like, so he let go of everybody. So I don't know, bro. Like, KD just gotta stop, bro. Just stop, bro. KD crazy, bro. But he like a lot of people out here that got burned. Shout out to y'all. Yep, there it is. There's a mole. There's a mole.
That's what people are thinking, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He'll be all right.
I think that's it. Is that it, Chuck? My bad.
Yeah, we finna head to the corner, man.
All right, we got here to the corner. I don't know. Next week we might talk about 50 and Ti on Riddle News of the Day. I don't know. All right, let's get to the corner, man.
It's now time for Riddle News of the Day.
All right, we are here at the corner, man. I don't know where else you would rather be, but here at the corner. I don't know what's going on with my lighting, but whatever, it is what it is. All right, so jumping right into it. You already know what I'm about to talk about. Women's basketball. Let's talk about Unrivaled. Let's go over some of the scores from the previous game. Let's talk about, I believe it was Sunday night, right? So going to tell Unrivaled. Actually, breaking news. Unrivaled is actually on right now. If you don't know, if you get done watching this and you want to watch a little bit of women's basketball, it's on True TV, TNT, and HBO Max if you have it, right? So let's talk about these games from the other slates. The Laces ended up losing to the Rose 70-66. Angel Reese. That's her team. She came back and had a great stop for that. And then the Phantom ended up beating the Hive 84-66. Talk about a couple MVPs from those games. Chelsea Gray was the MVP for the Rose. She had about 38 points, I believe. She hit 10 for 14 from the three, which is crazy. I think Marina Mabry actually holds the record for most threes in Unrivaled in a game. For the Phantom, they also had the player of the game. Let me pull that up for y'all real quick. I think it was, I want to say A, B. Sorry. Who was the player of the game? I think it was AB. AB was a player of the game for the Phantom, right? So Unrivaled actually on right now, like I said before. So the Vinyl just ended up beating the Lunar Owls to get into the playoffs, 75-68. So there's 6 playoffs spots available. They're already all locked in. The Rose, Laces, Phantom, Vinyl, Mist, and it's one more team. Sorry, y'all, I'm going back and forth. Those teams all and the Breeze, they're actually playing right now. They're all in the playoffs. So Unrivaled is going on right now. Make sure you tap in, right? So now, next thing we want to talk about is the March Madness tournament that's coming up next month. We're going to talk about the women's March Madness tournament. I will give you insight on the men's and what's going on, but you know what we talk about here, women's basketball, so we're going to keep it going with the women's March Madness tournament. So a little timeline on the women's March Madness tournament. So Selection Sunday is actually March 15, 2026. That's when they select. You'll see the bracket, what teams get in, who's your first 4 in, first 4 out, and things of that nature. So the first 4 is actually March 18th to 19th. The first round of the tournament is March 20th to the 21st. The second round is March 22nd to the 23rd. And then the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 is March 27th to the 30th, 2026. The Final 4 is April 3rd. It starts April 3rd, 2026. The semifinals, that's going to be April 3rd also. And then April 5th is the championship. So some location details. So the regional sites for the first 4 in the first round, second round is going to be Fort Worth, Texas, and Sacramento, California. So if you're anywhere in those regions, you can definitely pull up and watch some good basketball. The location of the Final 4 will be in Phoenix, Arizona. So if you like the Heat and you want to go watch some women's basketball, you can definitely check out the Final 4 there, Phoenix, Arizona. Again, that is April 5th, 2026. Now, let's talk about the AP Top 10 for the women's. You have UConn, of course, they're undefeated. You have UCLA, South Carolina, Gamecocks, they're 27-2. You have Texas, Vanderbilt, LSU, Oklahoma, Michigan, Iowa, and Louisville. Those are your top 10 right now, and it's constantly moving throughout the weeks. But definitely get your brackets ready. Do a little bit of studying, pick your teams, and get ready to watch women's basketball. All right, now, last thing we're going to talk about that I said we're going to talk about when I first started this are some shoe releases for the weekend. Now, we're going to start off with the KD 6s. Yes, we've been talking about KD a lot. This show is okay. He does have his 18s out for 25-26 season, but if you're, I don't know, what am I, Gen Z or millennial, whatever, but you already know you had your khakis, you had your polo shirt, and you had your KDs on, right? So get ready to bring your khakis back out because he is re-releasing most of his KD 6 colorways, right? Starting off with the one right here you see on the screen. That shoe drops February 27th. If you want to get you a pair of KDs, you want to dust off the khakis and relive your glory days, right? So now for all my other sneakerheads, the Jordan Retro 5 Wolf Gray drops on the 28th. They come in all sizes, kid sizes also, toddler sizes also, right? Now, for my DMV folks, this one is near and dear to our hearts. The Nike Air Foam Posite 1, as you see, in-store only pickup. That will be releasing February 27th also, right? So if you like that colorway down there, that red and black, there will be more colorways. I don't know why Nike is getting this big foam posite rush all of a sudden, but if you got $250 to spare and you really want some foam posites, definitely go pick you some up on the 27th, right? All right. That's all I got for today. Remember, support women's basketball. And whenever you leave the lab with Deuce, don't be scared to come on down here to the corner. Thank y'all.
Look at that. My man got a signature. He got a signature.
You like the outro? You like the outro?
Signature.
Yeah.
Outro. Yeah, okay, I see you. DawgTired, get ready because you up on Thursday, dog. I don't know how that's gonna turn out. You putting Statman on the mic. I don't know how that's gonna turn out, man. I don't know how that's gonna turn out. But again, we thank you all from watching today. Don't forget to tap into yesterday's Commanders draft show. We discussed running backs and tight ends. Next week, Sunday, 8:35, we're talking edge rushes, the combine. The good stuff about the combine starts in a couple days. It already started on Sunday because they account early arrivals, which I think was like the kickers and D-line or something. And it just kind of triggers in as the week goes, the entire week. So watch out for that. Also, watch out my thoughts. I mean, look on YouTube for my thoughts about the Andrew Wiley signing. And also tonight, look out for Hell at Midnight. That's going to drop at midnight. What else we got, man? We got some drive stuff on tap this week. Thursday is going to be our sideline show, just basically breaking down, a couple coaches each week on Thursdays. So yeah, man, we got to get there first. But I think that's pretty much a wrap.
Is
man.
the combine this week? Are y'all doing combine stuff this week?
Yes. So I mean, not like we're talking to a couple people. I actually talked with Ian Cumming today. That's going to drop on Wednesday. Try to get somebody from Riddle Radio for Thursday. And I mean, not a whole lot, right? Like, but it's going to be more so after the combine, get some people on. But this upcoming Sunday, we're going to talk about the combine a lot, and then also look at edge rushes Sunday 8:35. So that's that. It's Red Zone in the Lab. DawgTired, Statman, Chuck, contributor, both producers. We thank y'all for your time. We know it's valuable to you, and for you to use it with us, we absolutely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.